Welcome to Dungeon Academics. My name is Thomas and I will be your instructor. It's been a while since I made my last video, so I thought I'd just have a quick recap on what's been going on and let you know what the situation is. It is May in Finland, and anyone who has any kind of pollen allergy knows that this is one of the toughest times of the year because birch pollen is in bloom everywhere. Finland is covered in birch forest, or forest with lots of birch in it at least, and I appear to be quite badly allergic to it. This is an ongoing problem. I've had it for quite a few years now, and this year is a particularly heavy year. You may or may not be able to see a slightly glassy red look in my eyes in this video, but yes, that's a problem. I've also been coughing and sneezing to a point where recording any form of video is not really on the scope. So I thought I'd make a short little video here just to say what I have been doing instead of recording videos. One thing I've been working on is a roleplay campaign that I want to run for a couple of groups of friends of mine. It is called School Days. It is the first arc of a planned 4-arc campaign. So each arc takes 4 to 12, maybe longer sessions. I don't know. That's one of the big problems I have with writing roleplay campaigns is how much content do you prepare for a session? And I'm trying not to prepare too much. I don't have too much scripted. What I'm offering is plot hooks or opportunities or needs that the players can then interact with. And there are certainly some things they need to do to progress the story, but then there's lots of optional things they can choose to interact with if they want to. So how much should I have? If every player has 2 individual needs for their character, plus there is a larger story they need to interact with, and they can get help with their story or the larger story by interacting with other groups and fulfilling their needs, how much of this is going to take up one session? And that's very hard to gauge because from my own experience running games and playing in games, you can have sessions where hardly anything happens because people are just role-playing, interacting, trying to come up with different plans. And then in other sessions, there can be a steamroller. We do this, we do this, we do this, we do this, and then the plot advances. So I'm trying to keep things flexible there. But nonetheless, I'm really enjoying writing this School Days campaign. I don't want to say too much about it here because I do have friends and gamers that I play with who I want to play test this with who might watch this video. So no spoilers here. But the first arc is essentially the last 10 days of high school before they go off to university. I've written a preamble and a sort of what you know. So one thing that's going to be different about this is you go into the game without any preconception of what your character is going to be like. And then through the first 2 or 3 sessions, I'm going to put the players in situations where they need to make a choice. Now, this is set in a high school. So on the very first day, there is going to be an academic challenge in the form of their final history and anthropology exam. There's going to be a physical challenge in the form of the school sports day. And there is going to be a social challenge in the form of a house party for all the seniors at this high school that they are going to. And depending on which one of those is going to be most important to them, and of secondary and then tertiary importance, they get to assign their primary, secondary and tertiary arenas of attributes or not skill points, but like physical characteristics. So is it going to be the physical domain? Is it going to be the mental domain? Or is it going to be the social domain? and then you allocate your points in character creation based on which is most important to your character. Every character is going to be a member of one of 20 different cliques in the high school, and each clique has certain skills that are more valued. So when they assign skill points, they will fit in with the clique that they choose. In addition to that, every clique is going to have connections they can utilize, also going to have needs. So each clique has 2 priorities or needs, and you will earn experience points by matching those needs. And then everyone of the players, they're all going to be in different cliques, I hope. It's not a disaster if you get 2 people from the same clique. It just doesn't open up as many story opportunities. But as the players are trying to help each other out to meet their own individual cliques' needs, they're going to be interacting with the other cliques, and because of that, the other cliques have needs, and if you want a favour from that clique, you're going to have to help them with something. And then there's going to be an overall larger scale plot, which is set forth and given to the players by the principal of the school, and they have a deadline to do that. But that's going to be the main objective for the first arc of the campaign. And then the very first session will be the Thursday of one week, and the Friday of the following week will be the high school prom, and that's the end of that arc. So they have a limited number of days in which to do things. So it's going to be, okay, today is Saturday, there is no school, but these are your personal objectives. This is your grand objective. What do you want to do with this day? Within the confines of the town that the game is set in, what are you going to do? Now, I haven't planned this town. I don't have a map for this town. I know that there are certain things in it associated with the different cliques. I know there's music venues, there's an art gallery, there's a Marine Corps base just outside the town. There's a large national park just outside the town. There's farming, there's horse ranches, there's mountains with hiking trails. So there's definitely some things that I know that are in this town. But for a medium-sized town of 120,000 people or so, if the players ask, hey, is this going to be in the town? It's like, sure, why not? What they want to do is based on the ideas and imagination they have. So we will build out this town by asking what reasonably could be in it. You know, if they want to know, is there a mechanics, an auto shop somewhere? Yeah, certainly there is. Is there a horse racing track? Yeah, okay, we can put that in. As long as it's reasonable, we'll do it, and then we can build the game up from there. So I haven't planned everything out. I haven't planned hundreds of potential encounters. It's up to the players suggesting ideas of what they want to do, and if it's reasonable, we'll do it, and if it's unreasonable, we can say no, but, and then try something different. So that's what I've got going. So I hope that works. There are twists and turns in this campaign. Not everything is going to be as it seems. It's set in 1970 in Texas, a town called Christmas, Texas. I don't actually know if there is a real Christmas, Texas. I'll have to look that up. If there is, it's not that one. It's my own town. But let's not worry about that. But that's what I've been doing. And I've been having a lot of fun. The core game that I'm using for this, I'm going to keep that secret for now because of reasons. But it's a really nice D10 dice pool mechanic. It's quite an open system. It's very narrative and teamwork based, which is what I like. And I'm trying to include elements in the first day when the players are building their characters that will allow them to explore the mechanics and have a simple understanding of how things work. Because it's quite difficult to build a character if you don't understand how the game works. So by putting in a few basic challenges and explaining how the dice mechanic works, players should then have a better idea of, okay, this is a good thing to spend my points in. This is not so good thing. This is not something I'm interested in. This could be interesting. So it's proving fun. I'm really enjoying the process. The hardest thing is not being able to tell my friends about it because of spoilers. I don't want to give any spoilers away because there are a few reveals. Ooh, spooky. And I don't want that to happen. I want them to have the joy of finding things out for themselves the fun way. One player in particular, I'm going to have a chat with him before the game. And I'm going to have to say that because of who you are and the games that we've played together and the things that you know, you might come to some realizations. And if this is a realization your character has, absolutely please feel free to talk with the other players about it. But if this is a realization that you as a player has, come talk to me first, because realizing that is actually built into the game mechanics. There is a mechanic for what happens when a player realizes something that their character might not realize, which sounds quite cryptic, but it's pretty cool. So I'm going to have that chat with at least one friend, and they had a chat with me about the same kind of thing for the game that they're currently running. They're currently running the Alien roleplay game, doing the starter mission from the Alien RPG from who is it that does Alien? Hang on, I've got it here. Free League, yeah, which is a lovely game. We've got one session left of that, we reckon. We'll probably do that in a couple of days' time, finish the campaign off, which I'm really enjoying. I'm not going to put any spoilers in, though the biggest spoiler is the fact that it is the Alien RPG. And once you know it's the Alien RPG, then you know something weird's going to happen. But every character has their own personal agenda. So in addition to trying not to get killed by the alien, you're trying to do something for your own character. One of them is particularly special, and because I've got the Alien roleplay game, I love Alien, and I've been planning to run it for a while, and then he got it as well, without knowing that I already had it. When he came time to running the game, he said that one character with a particular agenda, because you already know that, do you want to play that character? And I was like, I thought you were going to ask me that, and absolutely, yes, I will. So it worked out well. So I'm now going to have to do the same thing for him, saying, because of the games that we've played together and the fact that you're as equally big roleplay game nerd as I am, and you're a writer, you're a storyteller, he works in the games industry, you might realise this as a player. If you do, keep it to yourself, let me know, because that's actually part of the game mechanics. So that should be fun. But that's what's been keeping me busy, writing this school days campaign and coughing my lungs out. A few years ago, I coughed so much during the allergy season, I cracked my own rib. Yes, you can do that. It's awful. Please take your antihistamines, because allergies are awful. Anyway, that's enough for me. I'm going to be playing Alien on Friday. I'm going to be playing Lancer on Saturday. And then the following Friday, I'm playing D&D. And that's a nice full mix for me. 3 different roleplay games in a 7 or 8 day period. That makes me a happy gamer. So I'm going to enjoy my next game, and I hope you enjoy your next game, whatever it may be.